Fragrance Point is an incredibly weird game. That much is clear from just one look at it. When this game popped up in my Steam recommended, there was no way I wasn't gonna play it. The entire thing looks like some kind of frutiger aero Cruelty squad alien fever dream. And by that, I mean that playing Fragrance Point feels like you're in this image. And I think that's exactly what developer Halberball had in mind. This is by far one of the most visually unique video games I have ever played. This game was released about a week ago, but is being slept on with only 30-odd Steam reviews. I'll do my best to put the experience of playing this beautifully trippy game into words, but I don't think there are enough words in the English language specific enough to describe just how this makes you feel. It's clear that this game has an incredible art style and atmosphere, and this is something consistent throughout the entire journey. The game opens just before you commandeer a vessel to the Fragrance Point spaceship. From there, you're free to explore. Now, it's fairly unclear what you're playing as exactly, but rest assured, the game makes no effort to elaborate on it. You seem to be some kind of heart-shaped alien in a giraffe-like exoskeleton. Counterintuitively, movement is surprisingly fluid, as your character will often slide and skate across the landscape. You're assisted by your rocket pack, which you can activate at any moment to propel you forwards. This actually creates a fairly intuitive momentum-focused control scheme, and within no time, you'll be soaring across the titular space station, majestically. Just like a real giraffe would. Honestly, this game kind of controls like Goat Simulator in a weird way, without the ragdolls, of course. Fragrance Point doesn't take itself too seriously, and focuses its effort on having unique interactions in this bizarre alien ship. There isn't much in the way of a narrative. While there is an overarching story, it really just serves as a vehicle to see the endearing and wacky interactions with different characters, who, of course, are just as strangely designed as you are. Whenever you see an amorphous blob, you may as well try talking to it. Half the time it'll respond to you. I really love the character writing here though. There are tons of fun interactions and charming, albeit weird, little moments. I don't want to give away too much, but some of my highlights were the alien movie set, which just has this little gremlin recording silver pineapples at seemingly random angles, and the giant coin who pesters you about crypto, both of which you can destroy. This game lets you be a complete jerk, and I think that's funny. Out of all possible genres, Fragrance Point skews more into the puzzle platformer category than anything else, though with an emphasis on collectibles. All over the ship, you'll find these spiky balls simply stated to be gunk. Collect enough gunk and you can maybe do something with it maybe. Who knows? There are also these 9 space bugs called whims that you need to collect, and a bunch of other random stuff that I don't know the uses of. I picked up 3 beetles and a flower, and they kind of just became permanent fixtures of my in-game UI. Each area of the ship feels really unique and has its own cool vibe to it. This game isn't massive, it only takes 3 or 4 hours for a complete playthrough, but it's fun checking out everything this frutiger starship has in store. There is a lot of backtracking, kind of like a Metroidvania. You have this wheel of various items you can use that is slowly filled out as you unlock more and more tools. It starts with just the gift of speech and lipstick, you know, the essentials, but your arsenal can quickly expand with new tools like worm blades and coin. This progression makes learning the map quite satisfying, as you'll be taking note of where everything is so you can come back to it later with the correct tools. I found that puzzles overall were well designed, with a couple of notable exceptions where you weren't given any direction on what you're expected to be doing. I enjoyed having that aha moment when I found out I could round up brain crabs by bashing them into each other Katamari style, but got frustrated when I tried deactivating this damn drill, essentially boiling down to cycling through every tool in my moveset until something worked, over and over again. So you're telling me that none of my weapons can slice the pipes open, but bashing into them does the job? I don't know, the game could have benefited with a little more attention to detail in these areas. Fragrance Point is very visually polished, but does have some minor gameplay bugs that I ran into, the most frustrating of which deactivating my ability to use tools in the final level and leaving me soft locked. Overall, the bugs weren't that much of an issue, but it is something to be aware of. I was also fairly annoyed with the design of this thing. I'm not even quite sure what it does, to be honest, but it looks like a rocket, so we'll go with that. The rocket just outside of main station is the only way you can use the gunk you've accumulated, but it could really use a quality of life rework. For one, you need to completely fill up the tank of the ship with gunk to be able to use it, but fall short of that threshold and you lose the gunk forever. I deposited gunk around 4 different times, and only once was it enough to fill up the ship. Keep in mind, gunk does not regenerate, so once you're out, you're out. Then once the ship is filled up, you can enter this really cool minigame to do something. What exactly? I'm not sure, because I accidentally clicked the close button and lost all my gunk for nothing. Whoops. Now this is a skill issue on my part, but it was kind of annoying not being able to use this machine at all during my playthrough and having my gunk be sent to the ether. Alas, patience is a virtue, so take it from me. Wait until your gunk meter is full before you use this thing. I would have also liked the game to be a bit more clear about its collectathon type design, where it is, spoilers, revealed at the very end that the good ending is only possible if you collect all 9 whims first. It doesn't help that the game deletes your save after you achieve the bad ending, but honestly, I'd expect nothing less from a game that looks like this one. Alongside its striking visuals, Fragrance Point features a fairly experimental soundtrack filled with absolute bangers like Sewer Maze and Bug Bounce. This is what people think Aphex Twin sounds like. It really does fit the vibe though, and is a core aspect of this game's identity. And while I did already touch on the visuals, they really are fantastic and probably the biggest draw to this game. I love the ever-morphing textures and the smoothed out level structure. It really does create this futuristic setting in the most unique way possible. Fragrance Point is what I can only imagine to be an artistic representation of the world through the eyes of Jeremy Fragrance. It's a funny, oddly charming adventure, most probably fueled by an intense passion for acid and other illicit substances. This game is an absolute fever dream, but one that is well worth your while. It doesn't overstay its welcome, and I guarantee you won't have played anything like it. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time. I think I'm gonna lay down for a bit.